And here's Osmos on the iPad, and we're going to go straight into arcade mode, and I'm going to try level 2. As you can see, there's an awful lot of different levels, an awful lot of different options. So here I'm going to zoom out and show you the extent of my world. Here we are. I'm the little one in the middle, of course, and anything that's in blue and smaller than me I can absorb. So if I just press the screen to one side, and it ejects some of my mass, which you saw shooting out, and it propels me. And so I can move towards these little ones and absorb them, and then I get bigger. And some of them that were too big for me, that were red, as I get bigger, will gradually I'll be able to eat them, absorb them. The only thing is, when you fire out that mass there, it actually, as well as propels me, whatever it hits also moves very, very slowly. So that one that I hit, the blue one, is now being pushed just below, and it's being absorbed by this red one. And this red one's getting bigger and bigger. And then that one I've just fired, and I've lost another small one that I can never get. And of course these large ones that can actually swallow me up are starting to get bigger. So you've got to be careful exactly where you fire. What you can do is you can swipe. Because this game's a really good chill out game and goes quite slowly, you can swipe at the bottom of the screen to the right, and it will speed time up, and you can swipe to the left and it will slow it down. So that's really good in terms of being able to get quite a lot of control and finesse. And just with pinching you can zoom into it or zoom out. So initially, of course, you zoom quite a long way in. What I'm doing there is I'm trying to move these really big ones, and I'm actually trying to drive them into these even larger ones. So as they get absorbed, at some point they'll come to the size where I can actually just sort of absorb their last essence, so to speak. So it's quite a lot of strategy in this game, so I'm just hanging around at the moment, really, because I've put a few things in motion, and so I'm just going to, there we are. So at the bottom, just see there it moves up to blue. So time's sped up to about maximum now. So I'm trying to fire this one into the other one, so it's starting to be absorbed, and at some point it will switch over to blue, and there we are. I can now absorb it, so I'll go in and suck out as much of its life essence as possible, and then I'll move on to these here before they disappear completely. I might miss this one that's going into the red. Might just get some of it. No, couldn't risk it. So I'm now going to fire these larger red ones into the other ones, and repeat the process. The trouble is, if you fire too much of your essence away to propel yourself, of course you shrink again, and you get to the point where you just can't move anywhere, and because everything's bigger than you. So it's quite a balance in this game between sort of absorbing things and moving around, and not causing too many things to get huge. Because you can see near the top of the screen, these two quite large ones are about to collide, and they're going to become a super enemy. So I'll have a problem there. I know that's been absorbed by that one, so I can just absorb that. And you can see some in the background suddenly change colour as I can suddenly absorb them. So just below me there's this huge one, and off to the right there's one that's gradually being absorbed. So I'm going to have a look at that, because I might be able to, quite soon, I might be able to go in. And there's one you can see, quite a decent sized one, that's being absorbed slowly, and I might be able to get there and absorb some of that. Let's have a look. So I can zoom in now, and then suddenly I can go in, because that one's come that size, and the other ones have been absorbed really slowly, so I'll be able to get that one as well. So you can see another one's been absorbed, and now absorbing that has suddenly changed. There's a lot more blues. So I'm in quite a strong position here now, because as I absorb these, more and more of them become blue. You get bigger as you absorb them, and you've got to be careful. If you're quite close to something that's huge, you could actually expand into it, and then it will suck all your essence out. So you've got to be, again, quite watchful, bit of strategy. I'm speeding right up to maximum speed now, because I'm quite sort of well set here now. There we go, really, sort of in quite a strong position. There we go, so I'm the biggest. I haven't won the level, because I think you've got to have about 50% of the mass, because then nothing can sort of absorb you. Quite a good trick there is if you fire up towards the wall, it will propel you faster, and then it'll bounce off the wall and come back, and you reabsorb it. So it's actually quite a good little trick. I think I'll do it again down here. So in a second, yeah, so I fire a bit and it bounces off the wall and comes back in, so you don't actually lose any mass and you can propel quite fast. But you obviously can't do that early in the game. There we are, so I've now got 50% of the mass. Thank you for watching.